Hello, this is Josephine Montvidas, Career Counselor at the Middle Country Public Library in Center Reach, New York. Today's presentation, I will be speaking about job search strategies for individuals with a legal history. So after your incarceration, it's important to establish some basic needs. First of all, the most important one is making sure you have housing. So individuals perhaps could reach out to family or friends that could help them, or they could return to their former residence. If not, perhaps they need to look into government and community programs and resources. At some point, when you're ready to start the job search, an important element is to make sure you have appropriate business attire for your interviews. And at the Suffolk County One-Stop Employment Center, located in Hauppauge, New York, you could reach out to them, make an appointment, and let them know if you have a scheduled job interview. And they are happy to help you at their Career Couture Boutique, which is located in Hauppauge, and help you set up with business attire. You do need to have an appointment with them, and their phone number is 631-853-6769. As I said, you may need to reach out to different community resources. For example, throughout the 5 boroughs in the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island, and Manhattan, you could reach out to American Works. This organization helps individuals with gaining employment. They help individuals find housing. They have job readiness and vocational training programs. There's also Catholic Charities. Their main office is located in Rockville Center, and they do help individuals with mental health and substance abuse issues. In addition, they have several food pantries throughout Long Island. And at the Yaphank Correctional Facility, there is the Prison Ministry Program. There's also Work Plus by the Family Service League, and that Long Island community resource helps individuals who could be homeless or are having problems with rental housing. They also help individuals with vocational and educational services. They assist people with entering the job market or seeking additional skill training. They also provide mental health services and nutrition programs. In addition, there's Access VR, and Access is partnered with the New York State Education Department, and they stand for the Adult Career and Continuing Education Services. They do provide vocational and educational training programs for individuals that have a disability. They must prove documentation through a mental health therapist or through a doctor that they do need that assistance. If you need help with ascertaining that information, you could reach out to Access, and they could help you gather that information with your written consent. There are 3 locations on Long Island: Garden City, Hauppauge, and Riverhead. So with your job search, there are 6 main steps, and I will get into each of them as we move along in the presentation. The first one is creating a positive image, identifying your skills, identifying job targets, gathering your documents that are necessary for a job search process, having effective interview skills, and following up on all job leads. So step 1, as I mentioned, is having a positive self-image. And that helps you with having a positive attitude to convince an employer that you're the right person for the job. It helps you make a good first impression, and it helps carry you along as you try to meet different goals. So step 2 is to build the skills. And there's 3 different areas of different skills. There's self-management, there's transferable skills, and there are employability skills. So your self-management skills, these are essential for everyday existence and survival. Some examples are getting to work on time, being honest, being enthusiastic, and getting along with others. As I say, you always want to bring a cooperative spirit. For example, when I come to work every day, I need to let my supervisor know that I'm here on time. So I go to the time clock area, I punch in a pin, my name comes up, and it's recorded exactly what time and day I have arrived at work. So it's important to, as one of them, to be, at work on time. Transferable skills are general skills that can be used in a variety of jobs, such as writing skills, organization, communication skills, artistic skills perhaps you have, or manual skills. Employability skills are skills that we need in the workplace, and they are good communication skills, having motivation and initiative, a positive attitude, having basic reading and writing and math skills. Also, patience and adaptability, which many of us experienced during the pandemic, and to be flexible. Your life skills, they coincide with your everyday survival skills and employability skills. For example, decision making shows you how to evaluate options and problem solving. Not that we need to have all the answers at work, but it's always important to be able to contribute ideas to resolve an issue. And goal setting. Be able to set up a plan to achieve specific goals and maybe taking steps in order to reach those goals. Step 3, identifying job targets. For a particular job, you want to know what skills you need, which ones are required, what education or training is necessary. How will I get to work? Where is the job located? Will I have access to a car, or will I need to take public transportation? Because as I said, being reliable and punctual, getting to work on time is very critical. Also, what salary and benefits do I hope to have? Researching the jobs. Many jobs are based upon qualifications and skills. How do I know what education and training is necessary? There's a wonderful online publication put out by the United States Department of Labor, and it's called the Occupational Outlook Handbook, and their website is ooh.gov. This online publication will give you information of over 300 different occupations in the United States. It will give you a typical day, what's the qualification that's necessary, what are the training, what's the job outlook on a national basis, and I think it will give you information through 2028. It would also identify similar occupations and addresses of professional associations that are related to that particular occupation. You also want to know which employers are willing to hire individuals with a legal background. Step 4, you must gather your documents. I am more than happy to help anybody prepare a resume and cover letter and to assist with the online applications and job interview skills. However, you want to have all these documents beforehand. It's also important to have information that proves your identification that you can work in the United States. So employers do request that you show them at time of hiring a driver's license or a permit, a state identification card, or a passport, and also a Social Security card. For the Social Security card, if you don't have one, that could take several weeks to get from that government agency. So you want to make sure that you have all these documents beforehand. In addition, you may want to have certificates of rehabilitation, and I'll speak about that in a few minutes. For your resume, try to keep your resume to one page. because in addition, today you would be completing perhaps an online application, and the employer may also request a cover letter. So if you can keep the resume to one page, that's great. Always make sure you include your formal name, no nicknames. Have your phone number and email. Having your mail address is optional information, all right? And make sure your email is business appropriate and your voicemail message sounds professional. If your personal email is not appropriate, you may want to set up another Gmail account and have that just for your job search process. Make sure your resume is accurate and error-free. And today's resume must be relevant for each job opening. And the reason why is many employers have applicant tracking systems, which is a type of software that will filter the application and resume based upon the skills, your education, and experience. If you don't have that, your resume will not go in bucket A. It will end up in bucket C, and many times you may not hear from the employer. And that's when individuals become a little frustrated or discouraged with the whole job search process. So again, your resume must be relevant. In addition, and we're going to focus upon two different types, you may want to consider using a skills resume and or a chronological resume. So functional resume is a skill-based resume which focuses on your skills and expertise rather than the details of your work history like a chronological resume. Now, a functional resume, here is an example, and again I just have it left for one page. The person's full name or formal name is on the top. They've included their full address, their cell number, and their Gmail account. In addition, they also have a professional summary, and that highlights a job seeker's different skills and experience that are relevant to that opening. So again, it must be relevant. Then they follow through with experience, and I've just selected 3 different skill areas. And a skill, remember, is something that you do well. It doesn't have to be out of this world. It doesn't have to be skyrocketed, but something you do well. So for this resume, I've reflected on food preparation and also included 3 good solid statements about my experience with food preparation. The next one is communication and customer service. As you can see, the employment history is located near the bottom of the resume with the name of the job title, the employer, where they're located, and their dates of employment. Okay. Note that the education is near the bottom or at the bottom of the resume. And the reason is this person was not a recent college graduate, so that information is on the bottom. So what they're highlighting or showcasing are the skills that they want the employer to zero in on. A chronological resume is your traditional resume, and it lets you list your jobs in reverse chronological order. You start with your most recent and you work backwards. So again, I have the person's formal name, not a nickname, their full address, a cell number, and their email. Okay, and with this resume, we're beginning with the experience, the most recent. They worked from October 2015 through March of 2019. They've indicated the name of the employer, the location, and their job title. And then I bulleted 4 different statements explaining and highlighting the work that they did. Prior to that, they worked at another food service place from September 2013 through October 2015 as a food service worker. And again, the employer is identified and the town and some responsibilities. Again, since they're not a recent college graduate, the education is near the end of the resume. Cover letters. Cover letters could be optional in your job search. Some employers do require it, not all of them. If they say it's optional, I do suggest that you write a cover letter. It also gives you a little more opportunity to help you focus on your enthusiasm and your skills. In a cover letter, you want to try to write to someone in particular, if you can. Some ads will just say HR 123 at ABC Company, so you have to follow that directive. If you know somebody that's working at a particular company that you're applying to, you may want to use that person's name. But first of all, make sure you have permission to do so. All right, and you could let them know that John Jones is an employee in the ABC department and speaks highly of the company for many years. You want to customize your cover letter so it reflects your interest in that particular job that you're applying to and your enthusiasm for the company. Make sure it's accurate and professional. Proofread it carefully. Always follow the instructions in the job posting. If the posting requires you to send your letter as an MS Word attachment, do so, or as a PDF file to your email, follow through. Okay, you can sign off your cover letter. You can have the typical closing, sincerely, or you could do regards, or I always recommend with great interest. I believe that gives a little bit more of a punch to a cover letter. References. Employers may request references on a job application or during a job interview. Be prepared with 2 to 3 people who will speak positively about your skills, abilities, character, and motivation. References are not family or close friends. It could be a former supervisor, a teacher, a religious or community leader, or a mentor. You want to gather your references before you begin your job search. Make sure your references give you permission to give out their name and contact information. You don't want to give them a surprise. Also, during your job search, keep them informed about what your job search goals are and the specific employers who may be calling them. Job applications provide information to employers about your work history and education. It's important to be honest about your legal history. Some applications may only ask about felonies and not misdemeanors. So keep your responses to the point. You can always give more details in an interview, whether it's a face-to-face interview or whether it's a virtual interview. Okay, certificates of rehabilitation. In New York State, that helps restore your rights due to your prior legal history. Businesses must consider your certificate when making hire decisions. It shows an employer that you've been rehabilitated. In New York State, there's 2 types of certificates of rehabilitation. The Certificate of Relief from Civil Disabilities or the Certificate of Good Conduct. New York State offers 2 certificates of relief. The first one is the Certificate of Relief from Civil Disabilities. So the individual could have one or any number of misdemeanor or convictions. They can obtain it if they're convicted of a federal offense out of state or in another country. And individuals are required to apply for separate certificates for each conviction. Also, the Certificate of Good Conduct, and that's for an individual that has 2 or more felony conviction and any number of misdemeanor convictions. The Certificate of Good Conduct begins from the date of release from incarceration or the date of the last conviction, whichever is most recent. It's also based upon the felony charge. However, the waiting period for individuals that have a felony that's classified as A, B, and C, it's a 5-year waiting period. If it's a C, D, and E, it's a 3-year waiting period. The certificate of good conduct, the individual must apply for it at the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. However, if you need assistance with either of these certificates, I would suggest that you call the New York State Legal Action Center at 212-243-1313. Step 5 is using the internet. You want to apply for jobs you really want, that you're able to perform, and you want to get your resume into different databases. Also, you may want to check out different specific career and employer websites. You want to use all job search methods to help you secure the job that you're very qualified for. And to help you, there's Career One-Stops, which are sponsored by the United States Department of Labor. For example, in Suffolk County, we have the Suffolk County One-Stop Employment Center. They're located in Hauppauge. They're open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30. You may want to reach out to them because they have many different job fairs that are scheduled from April through October this year at different Long Island libraries, and they are from anywhere from Bayshore to Hampton Bays and to Riverhead. As I said before, they also offer the Career Couture boutique, which is located at their facility in Hauppauge, and to help you with getting different business attire for job interviews or for job fairs. In Hempstead, there's the Hempstead Works Career Center, and they're located in Hempstead. They're open Monday to Friday from 9 o'clock to 4:45. They do offer assistance with career planning, resume writing, and have different workshops on computer skills. You must call them to let them know that you'd like to have an interview. In addition, there's the Hicksville Career Center located in Hicksville, New York. They're open Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30. At that location, you would have access to the New York State Job Bank. They also have immediate job postings as well as seasonal positions. Another opportunity you may want to look into is apprenticeship.gov. And this is an opportunity to acquire skills and training and education in so many different areas that do not require a college degree. So their website is apprenticeship.gov. And what you could do is you would go onto their website and click the tab Career Seekers, and then click on Become an Apprentice. They also have a tab, Career Seekers with Barriers to Employment. And if you click on that, that's located on the left-hand side. And you can filter it by putting in the certain skill area, let's say carpenter, welder, pharmacy technician, and your location. And it will let you know if there are any in that local area. If not, keep on checking back. So for effective job search strategies, I always recommend network with as many people that you know and trust. They could be friends and family, teachers, past employers, former classmates, community and religious leaders. Also let your own family and friends know, because they may know people that they could help you get connected with. You also want to contact employers directly. Some of them will only let you apply if there is a position that you qualify for. Some employers don't want additional resumes, all right? Also, as I said, try to participate at the different Long Island Library job fairs that are being held now from April until the end of October. Recently in March, there was Fresh Start, a career expo for individuals with a legal history. And they had some wonderful employers that were available. You may also want to set up email alerts from different employers that could let you know that they are looking for different individuals at a certain time. And another method could be contacting temporary agencies. So I reached out to a few of them. The first one is Manpower Staffing in the city. And they're open Monday to Friday from 8:30 to 5 p.m. And they do require that you have an appointment to meet with them. These staffing agencies that I have listed do welcome individuals that have a legal history. Another one is People Ready, located in West Hempstead. They're open from 5:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And again, they welcome individuals with a legal history. And there's Randstad Staffing in Islandia, New York. They're open Monday to Friday from 8 to 5 and do require that you have a scheduled appointment to meet with one of their recruiters. So step 5, if you're going to have an interview, whether it's a virtual or a face-to-face, there's some important elements that we need to speak about. If you're having a virtual interview, please make sure your internet connection is in good working order. Make sure your background is neutral and no distractions, and it's well lit. Also that it's quiet. No dogs are barking, no kids are running around, all right? Whether you're having a virtual interview or a face-to-face, research information about the company and about the position that you're interviewing for. Look at the company website. Become familiar with their mission is, what their products are. Perhaps if they have any recent news going on about their company, all right? Also be mindful about your image. Whether you're having a virtual interview or face-to-face, make sure you dress for success. And when you're interviewing, remember, it only takes about 7 seconds for a recruiter or a hiring manager to make a first impression. As soon as you walk through that door or as soon as you start that virtual interview. So you want to be aware of your body language, sit up straight, feel confident, feel good, and smile. All right, and again, you should be dressed for success. So for some interviewing tips, if you are having a face-to-face interview, you want to arrive about 10 to 15 minutes early. Also, you want to know if you are arriving for a face-to-face interview, if you are driving, where do you park as a visitor? So you always want to get that information beforehand. If you're having a virtual interview, you want to log into your Zoom meeting at least 10 minutes before the scheduled time. This way, the interviewer is ready to start the meeting and they're not waiting for you to join them. All right? You want to be prepared to address your incarceration. Again, I want you to be honest and, be prepared for questions. Well, why should I hire you? Express your interest and enthusiasm for the job. And I'm more than happy to help you with developing some strong interviewing questions and responses so that you are successful for your interview. And step 6, make sure you follow up. After you have an interview, you want to send a thank you. So you will make a decision whether you're going to use email or regular mail. Use a formal greeting. Make sure you're enthusiastic about the job and how you fit well into the organization. Keep it short and professional. You may also want to discuss a certain project that they spoke about or a new procedure that they're having and how you could help it fit in there. You want to send your thank you within 24 hours after the interview. I've had individuals that will tell me that, oh, they sent it a week later or 2 weeks. That's not the right thing to do. Please send it within 24 hours of the interview. And when you sign off on your letter, whether it's an email or regular mail, you may want to sign off with the traditional sincerely, regards, or again, you can sign off with great interest. Thank you for your time today, and I'll be more than happy to help you. As I said, I'm Josephine Montvidas at the Middle Country Public Library. The phone number is 631-585-9393, extension 133. Thank you.